I don't think there's two words in the English dictionary that scares me more than remake and remaster. Well, apart from whoosh, Anyway, those two words scare me because unfortunately they have become synonymous with today's media landscape. Want to watch a movie? How about the remake of a classic 1980s film that doesn't really need to exist? Want to watch a TV show? How about the live action remake of an animated series that is significantly worse than its predecessor? Want to play a video game? How about the remaster of a game that's just over a decade old? Remakes and remasters are everywhere now, and they are flooding the video game landscape in a way that is not so good. Dunkey just released a video going over all of the remasters and remakes that are popping up nowadays, and it certainly was eye-opening for me. But while watching the video, I thought there must be a reason as to why there are so many, and I've managed to come up with a few. So just buckle in everyone, it's time for a trip down remaster road and remake roundabout. Reason number 1, greed. It's that simple. Well, in some cases it is. As much as I love to believe that developers can create whatever game they want without fear of the game being a financial flop, unfortunately that's just not the way the world works. Whether you're a small studio like Purple Lamp or a massive studio like Rockstar, you are always relying on a game making money so that you can keep making games in the future. Unlike the film industry, game developers have figured out an easy way to make a profit is to remaster or remake an old popular game that they know will sell. Now, in the cases of the smaller studios, that's understandable as they need that money so they can keep the lights on. But for companies like Rockstar and Naughty Dog who have money coming out of their dick holes, releasing a remaster of a game that is not even 5 years old for close to full price is a bit of a dick move if you ask me. But before we go on, put a pin in this bit, we'll come back to these guys again very soon, don't you worry. Reason number 2, the preservation of video games is actually laughable. Now this reason is probably the saddest one. As compared to other forms of media, video games are terrible at preserving old titles for future generations. 87% of games released before the year 2010 have been lost or are at risk of being lost, which is an insane number. That's like saying 87% of the films released before 1945 are at risk of being lost. Like, do you know how many films were released in that time? I mean, I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a lot. I think developers are finally realizing how big of an issue game preservation is, and they've realized a way to combat this is by remaking or remastering old titles that could have been lost to time. Now this is the type of remake or remaster that I support.
I am Kanye West, and I approve this message.
Which I know means a lot to you guys. I know you look to me for like opinions on these topics. I'm like a messiah or something. It is genuinely a good thing that I'm able to play Chrono Trigger on my computer via Steam for $17, instead of having to buy a SNES and the cartridge for considerably more than $17. Now, I wish this option of remaster was available to every developer who worked on games in the past, as every game, not just the absolute classics, should be able to be played today. Reason number 3, to create a completely different experience from the original. Now this goes back a little bit to the preservation side of things, but the main reason for remakes of this kind is to create a brand new experience for players. Recently I've been playing the 2019 Link's Awakening remake for the Switch and I'm really enjoying it. I absolutely love the art style of this game, and the sound design is just top notch as well. Now I think most Zelda fans would agree that the game didn't necessarily need a big remake. It is Link's Awakening after all. It's a pretty incredible game even in its original state. But I don't think this game was made for people who love the original. I think Nintendo intends this remake to be the way younger generations who have never even heard of the original play the game. Like, imagine going up to a 13-year-old today and handing them the original Link's Awakening to play. They'd probably tell you to get the old shit out of the face. You know, they just want to play Fortnite and Roblox and stuff. Now, if you hand them a Switch with the Link's Awakening remake playing, with the amazing art style and sound design, they would certainly be more intrigued and willing to play it.
Well, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
These types of remakes are made so that younger players can have the sense of adventure and the amazing experience playing classic games like Link's Awakening that we did when we were younger. This time with graphics and sound design that fit this modern era. Reason number 4, they are currently working on a brand new game. Okay, remember when I told you to put a pin in that section at the start? But before we go on, put a pin in this bit. We'll come back to these guys again very soon, don't you worry. Well, you can grab that pin and unpin it now, as this reason is specifically for the big name devs like Rockstar and Naughty Dog, who are releasing remasters like it's going out of fashion lately. Let's talk about Naughty Dog first, as lately they've been the most egregious out of the two. In the past 2 years, they've released remakes and remasters of The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 respectively. Both games, in my opinion, that did not need to be remade or remastered. I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 is not even 5 years old yet, and the PS4 remaster of the original Last of Us is still an incredible game. So a lot of people, rightfully so, ask the question of why even remake or remaster the games at all.
Why? 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 Why?
Well, this is just a theory. A game theory. But I think it's because they are working on a brand new game, probably The Last of Us Part 3, and they need a little bit of extra cash.
We just need money.
If you look at the development team for both the remake and remaster, none of the big devs worked on those games. I mean, people like Neil Druckmann, Kurt Margenu, Anthony Newman, Emilia Schatz, all these people have been the major leads on previous big Naughty Dog titles. And this is no disrespect to the leads on the remake and the remaster, I'm just pointing out that the big developers that lots of people would know and that are essentially the face of the company did not work on those titles. Because none of them worked on the remake or remaster, this tells me that they are busy working on the next big game. And knowing Naughty Dog, it is probably a very expensive game to make. So a good way to get more money to put into that new game is to release a remake and remaster of games that won't take as much effort as creating a new game from scratch. The same applies to Rockstar. Everyone was complaining about the remaster of GTA 5 for the PS5 and the release of the original Red Dead for the PS4.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
I mean, they kind of have a point for the Red Dead remaster. Releasing that for full price was certainly not the way to go, if you ask me. Everyone was like, why do you keep releasing the same game over and over again? Rockstar would rather make GTA 5 online than GTA 6. And where's GTA 6? And I just thought it was obvious that Rockstar had already started work on GTA 6 before the remaster of GTA 5 for the PS5, and the cost of the game had probably gotten a lot bigger than what they were expecting. So, like Naughty Dog, they figured an easy way to generate income to be put into the development of GTA 6 was to remaster and remake their old games. So if you see a big AAA company release a remaster or remake of some of their older titles that really didn't need to be remade or remastered, just remember that they are probably working on a brand new title in the background that just hasn't been announced yet.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
So those are the main reasons as to why remakes and remasters are becoming increasingly popular in today's gaming landscape. Greed, preserving very old titles for future generations, creating a completely new experience for players who have never played the game before, and because they are working on a new game and need money so they can make it. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out next week for my remaster of this video. And here's a spoiler alert, it'll be for one of the reasons I mentioned before. Greed. I need that money. Give me that money. Give me it.
Give me that.
What?